You wake up every morning in an empty apartment. The silence greets you like an old friend, but lately, that silence feels heavier. You scroll through social media, seeing couples sharing moments, families growing, and you wonder if there's something fundamentally missing from your life. What if I told you that Islam has identified this exact feeling 14 centuries ago and provided a profound answer that modern psychology is only beginning to understand? The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, made a statement that shook the foundations of how we view relationships forever. He declared that marriage is half of your faith, half of your deen. But what does this really mean? And why would the creator of the universe place such immense importance on two people coming together? The answer lies deeper than romance, deeper than companionship, and touches the very core of what it means to be human. Picture this scenario. You're successful in your career, financially stable, surrounded by friends, yet there's an inexplicable emptiness that follows you home each night. This isn't about loneliness in the traditional sense. This is about something Islam calls the incompleteness of the soul. In Islamic psychology, every human being is created as half of a whole, designed specifically to seek completion through their spouse. The Quran doesn't describe marriage as merely a social contract or emotional partnership. It describes it as finding your missing piece, your sakina, which means tranquility and peace. Without this peace, you're essentially living in a state of spiritual restlessness that manifests in ways you might not even recognize. The hidden costs of prolonged singleness in Islamic context go far beyond what modern society acknowledges. Islam teaches that when you remain single by choice, especially when you have the means to marry, you're depriving yourself of half your spiritual growth. Think of it this way. Imagine trying to climb a mountain with only one leg. You might make progress, you might even reach significant heights, but you'll never experience the full potential of the climb. This is what Islam suggests happens to your spiritual development when you avoid the institution of marriage. The challenges, compromises, and growth that come from building a life with another person are seen as essential catalysts for developing patience, compassion, selflessness, and true maturity. But there's something even more profound happening here that most people miss entirely. The Quran uses a specific Arabic term when describing spouses. They are your libas, which literally means clothing. But why would Allah choose such a peculiar metaphor? Clothing serves three primary functions: protection, beauty, and covering your private parts. Your spouse protects you from spiritual and emotional vulnerabilities, beautifies your life in ways you never imagined possible, and provides intimacy that satisfies your deepest human needs in a halal manner. Without this spiritual clothing, Islam suggests you're walking through life exposed to elements that can harm your soul in ways you don't even perceive. The loneliness isn't just emotional, it's a spiritual exposure that leaves you vulnerable to sins, depression, and a fundamental disconnection from your higher purpose. But here's where Islamic wisdom becomes revolutionary. The religion doesn't just encourage marriage, it restructures your entire understanding of personal development around it. In Islam, the struggles of marriage, the daily negotiations, the moments when you choose your spouse's needs over your own desires, these aren't obstacles to spiritual growth. They are the very mechanism of spiritual growth. Every time you wake up and choose to serve another person, you're killing your nafs, your ego, the part of you that believes the universe revolves around your individual needs. This daily death of the self is considered one of the highest forms of worship in Islam. Now here's the twist that changes everything. The Prophet Muhammad, despite being the most spiritually elevated human being ever created, despite having direct communication with Allah, still chose marriage not once but multiple times. If spiritual completion could be achieved through solitary worship, prayer, and meditation alone, wouldn't the Prophet have demonstrated that path? Instead, he showed us that even the most spiritually advanced human being benefits from the growth that only comes through intimate partnership. This isn't a coincidence, it's a divine blueprint for human development. The payoff of understanding this Islamic perspective transforms how you view every relationship challenge, every moment of compromise, every instance where marriage feels difficult. These aren't bugs in the system, they're features. They're specifically designed experiences that forge you into a more complete human being. When you argue with your spouse about finances and then work together to find a solution, you're developing skills that extend far beyond your marriage. When you comfort them during their difficulties, you're developing empathy that makes you a better Muslim in every aspect of life. When you choose their happiness over your immediate comfort, you're practicing the kind of selflessness that brings you closer to Allah's attributes. The resolution isn't that everyone must marry immediately, but rather that Islam reveals marriage as a profound spiritual technology for human development. If you're single and feeling that inexplicable incompleteness, Islam suggests this isn't a character flaw or social inadequacy. It's your soul recognizing what it was designed for. The path to spiritual completion, according to Islamic wisdom, isn't through avoiding the challenges of partnership, but through embracing them as the very mechanism through which Allah shapes you into the person you were meant to become. Your future spouse isn't just a life partner, they're your spiritual trainer, appointed by Allah to help you develop parts of yourself that can only emerge through the sacred struggle of building a life together.